Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm doing this episode from laying on a couch, not my couch, but on a couch, and I'm listening to the rain, and I am listening to the rain hitting some skylights and some birds singing. And I have already been up and I've taken the dogs out to go potty and fed them breakfast. And I have not had coffee. And the nearest coffee shop, because I'm not going to count Dutch Brothers or Starbucks as coffee shops because they're garbage. Starbucks is burnt and disgusting, and Dutch Brothers taste like chocolate milk. Although I do like Dutch Brothers, the Rebels, not Red Bulls, but Rebels. I do get those occasionally. But I don't feel like that now. I want a cup of coffee. And I suppose I could make coffee, but there's a really fancy coffee pot here, and I can't seem to quite get it figured out. I mean, I've made coffee with it, but I can't quite get the coffee ratio down pat. I either put way too much, and then you could use it as car oil. I mean, it's some thick ass coffee. Like, you could probably put it in your car and it'd work great. Or I make it so watery that it's disgusting. And I swear I've tried everything in between, and somehow I just can't quite get it to taste good. And I swear to you, like, they have all these flavorings. And I was like, sweet, score, yes. And then I went to, and I was like, okay, they told me about a pump and a half is like perfect. And I was like, okay, groovy. So I do that. I put a pump and a half, and I don't know, it's like a 16-ounce cup, I guess. And of course, this is also when I made it kind of not car oil, but not like an in-between. So not even an in-between, because an in-between is where I want it. I don't know. It's probably not quite car oil, but like, 3 steps down. So pretty strong, very strong, put it that way. And I put a pump and a half, like they said, and you couldn't taste a damn thing. So I was like, okay, I'll put like another pump. So that'd be 2.5 pumps. No, couldn't even tell it had, and I can taste things. I've got a good taster. My taste buds are on fire. No, couldn't taste jack shit. So I don't know what's happening, but I can't seem, the only taste I can taste, no, that doesn't sound right. The only flavor I can taste, there we go, I got there. It's been a long night, okay, guys? I'm tired. I am, well, I didn't sleep, of course. But the only flavor I can taste seems to be peppermint. And I'm not a huge peppermint fan, but one day I was like, why not, Living the vida loca. Let's just be crazy. Let's be a wild child. Wild card. Let's put a little peppermint in there. If I had some peppermint schnapps, I would probably add that, why not? But it tasted okay, and I could taste the peppermint, but I couldn't really taste the other flavors. So here's my point to all of that rambling. I was going somewhere with that. Yes, in case you were wondering, the story has a point. My point is, I'm laying here with no coffee. And the closest coffee shop is about depends on the day, if I look it up right now, up to 16 minutes one way, which normally I don't think driving 15, 20 minutes is a big deal at all. That's one way, of course. But to get coffee when I'm tired, I just don't know that I feel like. And then last time I went, there were like 479,000 cars. So, and then the way that the coffee shop is situated, they make a damn good coffee though. Oh my God, their coffee's good. But the problem is the way that their coffee shop is situated, when there's any line whatsoever, you're like blocking traffic for people coming in, and then you have to like park in a situation that lets people come in, and then people don't realize you're in line and they cut in front of you. And that's happened before. And normally I'm like, okay, no problem, no worries, it's just one car ahead of you, calm down, you're not in a hurry, you're not going anywhere, you're not late for work, just you know, it's okay. But when it happens more than once, you start getting a little cranky because you're like, listen, I don't mind being a kind person and letting someone in. That's fine. But then when people keep getting in front of you, it's like those times when you hold open the door for someone. It's like, of course, I'm going to hold open the door for someone. And, for those out there that are like feminist, not feminist, that's just, I can do it myself. I can hold open the door myself. No one fucking thinks that you're not capable of holding open a door, okay? That's not the issue. People don't hold the door open for you because they think you're a moron that is incapable of figuring out how to push or pull a door, okay? It's because it's called being polite. And for some reason, nowadays, having manners, being respectful, I can't say this word, so don't laugh at me. Chivalry. Yeah, being chivalrous, whatever. Now when men, give you their code or, go check if, what sound that was in the middle of the night, somehow there are women that take that as men thinking that you're incapable. And it's like, really? But yet you're the same women who, if you wanted equality, you'd pay the same price as men do in insurance. You would also pay for child support. And you would also pay for alimony. And you would also have, the high insurance for car insurance and for health insurance. And you would take the exact same tests for Navy SEALs and the fire department. So anyway, so coffee, driving, cars. Oh, yes, there we go. See, I get there. I got it. No sleep, and I still break it down. 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 I don't really know what all that was. I started to, do a dance and do a rap, and it all just fell apart. Anyway, when you let people in, I'm about letting people in. I got there, guys. I got there. You thought I was lost. I digressed, but I got there. But sometimes, when you're holding open a door, there we go. When you're holding open a door for people, all right, especially if you're at a busy place like a grocery store or a movie theater or something, and you hold open the door, now all of a sudden the entire county thinks that you're holding open the door for them. And it's like, look, I was holding up the door for a couple of people. That's cool. But I wasn't the doorman. I wasn't planning on standing here for, a half an hour letting everybody in. Or when you let a car in and then all the cars after that think that now it's their turn, and then pretty soon you're sitting there for 20 hours because everybody else is like, oh, she's let that person in, guys. Let's flood the gates. Let's all come in. And again, if I'm not in a rush or whatever, I can be patient. I can let some people in. I can hold open the door for a while. But at some point, it's kind of rude not to take over and be like, I got this. I see that you've been holding open the door for a bit. So I've got this. I got you, boo. But it's not disrespectful, women. I don't need to tell you how to think. But if you think that a man holding open a door for you is some terrible thing, you've got bigger fish to fry, my friend. You really do. You have a lot. There are more important things to worry about than if a man is holding open a door for you, or a woman for that matter. Or if they are calling you ma'am, or, being respectful and saying, ma'am. That's just, it's okay if they misgender you or they don't get your pronouns right because they're trying to be respectful, clearly. So focus on that. Focus on the fact that their clear mission is to very obviously be a respectful person. You know that. You know that when someone's like, no problem, ma'am. Or, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, miss. And you're like, that's not my pronouns. That's not what I identify as. No one fucking cares. Save it. No one gives a shit what you identify as. No one asked you that question. So save it, okay? Save it. Someone's trying to be nice for you. Don't ruin it. You don't need to be a ruiner, okay? We have enough ruiners. Don't be a ruiner. Be someone that's a supporter. Be a supporter. Be thankful. Say thank you. Try that out. I know that's weird. I know it's super weird nowadays to have manners and to be respectful and to say thank you and be grateful. But holy crap, we should try it out. I know I'm getting a little bit snarky. I'm getting a little snarky. But seriously, people have lost their minds nowadays. People go out of their way to find things to I just gotta be grumpy. I just need to find something. I gotta be pissed. Oof. Oh, I just gotta be pissed. Oof. I gotta be cranky. Calm down. My God. Find something like to release that anger. Sex, drugs, just kidding. I don't want to encourage drugs, but honestly, like punch a punching bag, scream into a pillow, go on a hike, find an outlet, vent, talk to a partner, talk to a friend. But complaining because someone's holding open a door for you or called you ma'am, honestly, there are so many things going on in life. And if you want to make it about you, then that's interesting. That's an interesting take. It's a weird way to twist things, There is a lot going on in Iran. There's a lot going on in different countries right now. There are Christians being slaughtered. No one wants to talk about that, by the way. I love how everyone wants to feel sorry for a regime, the Iranian regime, that wants nothing more than to see Americans die. But you don't feel sorry for all the Christians being slaughtered because of their religion. You don't see a dang outlet. You don't see a news outlet. You don't see CNN, MSNBC, ABC talking about all of the Christians that are being slaughtered simply because they're Christians. Simply because they are Christians. Just like those people that make videos wanting to unalive people because they're Christian, or because they voted for Trump, or because they believe in this country, or they wore a shirt or a hat that was red and said MAGA on it, and therefore somehow you lost your fucking mind and you can't cope with life. Therefore, you have to unalive or harm others because of it. That means you need counseling. That means you have serious issues. If you honestly feel you cannot handle life and that someone else's life needs to be taken because you don't like the fact that their shirt says something on it that you disagree with, listen to what you're saying. Honestly, listen to yourself. Say that in the mirror to yourself. I want to poison someone because I don't like the message on their hat. I want to take someone's life because their shirt says something about Trump on it. Listen to yourself. As you're also going, I'm an accepting, non-judgmental person. I am so accepting and warm and loving. I accept everybody. And I think everybody else should be just as warm and accepting and non-judgmental as I am. But I will shank you if you wear a MAGA shirt. I will absolutely kill a bitch if I don't like the words coming out of your mouth. That's what happens. That's seriously what people do. They will talk about wanting to take a knife. They will make videos about a voodoo doll with Trump and stabbing him repeatedly with needles and then acting like they're slitting Trump's head. And by the way, those videos don't get taken down off of TikTok. I will report them and it'll come back that it's not against community violation. But you know what is? Do you know what somehow is against community violation and what videos do get taken down? If I call someone a moron, if I say they're a moron or stupid, which I don't like the word stupid. It is a very negative word, but I'm not harming somebody. And there is freedom of speech. I'm not harming someone. I'm not threatening somebody. I'm not bullying somebody. I'm calling someone stupid, or I'm saying something is stupid, or I'm calling somebody a moron. Meanwhile, my life has been threatened, and that somehow isn't against community guidelines, which I looked up who owned TikTok, and apparently now it's like 80% American owned. However, that's not even true, because it's got American stocks and stuff, but then there's also foreign investors. There are foreign investors, and then DanceByte or Gigabyte or ByteDance or BitDance or something like that from China owns like 16%. But I looked up a couple of the people, and some are Republican and some seem to be Democrat, but it just happened in this year, January of 2026. So it's only been like 2 months. So I'm hoping, it's only been like 2 months, so I'm hoping that TikTok will get its shit together and start taking down these crazy, insane fucking videos of people threatening the president's life. I mean, that is against the law. And thank God a lot of these people have been arrested. Thankfully. Anyway, I'm laying here on my couch, wanting coffee, but I don't feel like driving. I am dog sitting, and I am in a city I've gotten used to, though, where the coffee shop is. I've been there a million times, but I don't feel like it, so I need to make myself coffee. But my goodness, apparently I can make coffee at home just fine, but this is a different type of coffee pot with all kinds of fancy stuff, and I'm struggling, man, and you can tell because my brain is tired. Although, again, I'm always impressed when I start to digress and I'm going off on a whole other squirrel, and then I somehow manage to bring it around. Maybe not right away. Maybe it takes a moment, but I get there, dang it. I get there eventually. And that's pretty impressive given the lack of sleep I have, given how mushy my brain is from no sleep. So I'm going to brag about myself for a moment. Yeah, pretty awesome. Just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, I'm not just kidding. That is pretty awesome that my brain can even function at all, given the lack of sleep I've had for my whole life, considering how much I've struggled with sleep. The fact that I can form sentences at all and I don't Biden or Kamala out. I mean, I have Biden and Kamala out. I just did it. As I'm talking about how I don't do it often, I just did it. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? But sometimes I do Biden out and Kamala out. But I'm surprised I don't do it a lot more often. Because, seriously, I do not get any sleep. And that's a problem. You know what's not a problem? You know what's forking awesome and rocking my mind? How many people have been tuning into my podcast lately? I have had something like 108 people. 108 people have downloaded my podcast in the last 2 days. I know that's not Joe Rogan. I realize Joe Rogan has like thousands of downloads a day. I get it. But I've had 700 downloads this month. Or no, in a 30-day period. 700 downloads in a 30-day period. That is fucking amazing for me. That's hot. I'm trying to be Paris Hilton, but I'm no Paris Hilton. That's hot. I don't know how she says it. That's awesome. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, at the end, when I always say, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a coworker, you guys have been doing it. You're listening. You're actually telling people, and I don't know how to thank you for that. Again, I'm going to break out. What dance am I going to do today? The sprinkler. Ready? Sprinkler and sprinkler and sprinkler. And I haven't done the Running Man in a while. And Running Man, and Running Man, and Running Man, and Running Man. What? I don't know why I'm doing the that sounds really like a porn or something. Anyway, I can't tell you how much it means to me. I went to go check the stats on my on my podcast on Budsprout, and all of a sudden I was like, no, get the fuck out of here. There's no way. I've had over 100 episodes in like the last day and a half. And so I refreshed it and I was like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. I am so overjoyed. I'm so happy. Genuinely means the world to me, especially given the fact that I still to this day do not have the intro and outro fixed. So those of you who are just tuning in, I used to have a podcast. I used to have an intro and an outro to my podcast. So if you listen to my earlier podcasts, you will see that I have a snazzy little intro and an outro. So I sound so much more professional. It sounds pretty cool. I'm still talking into my phone and you can still hear crap in the background and all of that. It's still crap quality, but it's crap quality with a twist because it has a little bit of, little sprinkle, just a hint of professionalism because of my intro and outro music. But now it's gone. Those days are gone. You got used to the good stuff and then I pulled it away. So now we've got the trailer trash version of my podcast, but that's okay. It's all right. This podcast is for everybody, whether you're high class or low class or anything in between. I welcome you. I welcome people from all ages, all sizes, all religions, all races, all political affiliations, and whatever you identify with, whatever country you're from. Speaking of Germany, France, Canada, I pick on you guys all the time. And I did a podcast called What the Fuck, Europe? And I picked on you a bit. But again, I always say I'm talking about the government, not the people. I'm talking about how the countries are ran. I'm not talking about the people. Except you, Paris. Paris, you're kind of fuckheads in Paris. And New Orleans here in America. You guys are kind of assholes there. But anyway. But I appreciate the countries that I pick on incessantly. Canada, I pick on you. Again, I'm talking about the government, not the people. So I do want to clarify that. But I do pick on a lot of people. I pick on liberals all the time. And yet, here we are with over 100 people, 100 people listening to me, and like over 700 downloads in 30 days. So even though I definitely pick on people, and I say a lot of things that are going to piss people off, that is for sure. I want to stress to you that I could not care less what you are, who you are, as long as you're not an asshole douchebag that hurts others. I care if you hurt others. I care if you are harming others, if you're threatening others, if you are forcing things onto others. You don't need to force stuff. No means no, right? No, don't touch me there. That is my no square. Anyways, my coworker was telling me that's what she told her kid. Anyway, yeah. But don't force things. Forcing things that's never a good thing, right? So I don't like people that are forceful. I don't like people that talk about harming others. But other than that, I don't care what your background is. You're welcome here. Just know that I cuss a lot. I might say I will say things that piss people off and trigger people and, get under your skin. But then I might also say something that makes you laugh. Maybe I'll say something that you needed to hear that day. Maybe it was the support or encouragement. Maybe I say something encouraging or motivating. Who knows? Who knows? You never know what you're going to get. Surprise, I'm a wild card. Anyway, I thank everybody so much for listening. It's meant the world to me. It does mean the world to me. And every day it seems like I'm getting more and more listeners. So I'm not Joe Rogan today, but maybe I will be. Well, I'm not ever going to be Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan, and that's awesome. There's only one Joe Rogan, as it should be. So I'm going to be Courtney Perry. But I'll be Courtney Perry with maybe some more listeners tomorrow, right? Anyway, I hope that you are having an amazeballs day or evening or afternoon, whatever the case may be. I hope that you remember to take a breath. Just stop for a moment, breathe. I've been learning to do this because sometimes I want to say something and my mouth wants to get going and it starts out the gate. It just, boom, it just, it's like a shotgun out the gate. And sometimes I have to remember, no, 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 don't say that. Before you speak, take a breath, take a beat. Think about it first, That's always good. Remember to control the things you can and let go of the rest. And until next time.